Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 Cents.
What up, though?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good week and a good Tuesday. And before the stream even began, Tall Person, the resident psychic or decoder of obscure references. Is tonight's stream going to be about Super Mario 2? I told no one what the theme was going to be. But simply by the title, I have to assume, which I thought was a relatively, like I say, obscure reference. Tall Person apparently deciphered my thinking. So congratulations, Tall Person. You get the gold star for the evening of reading my mind.
Good job. You think like Scribe.
Yeah, something to be very proud of, I assume. Yes, but tonight is a video game theme. Haven't done a video game in a little bit, a couple of cycles of my hosting the show. And
I'm
yes,
just looking at it. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
just looking at it right now. It's Satsu looks so pissed off to be small and next to a woman.
Well, the problem was Satsu's avatar. I tried to up the contrast some so you could make out the hood against the background,
Sure.
but it just I couldn't get it any clearer without trying to do some crazy stuff to it. And that is that's the best full headshot of SDA I could find on short notice, which actually kind of works in my mind.
Yeah, it goes with the picture, actually.
Thank you, Cryptic. Doki Doki Panic remade into Mario 2. I actually included that little bit of trivia in the ticker because I do that kind of thing. But thank you for that knowledge there, Cryptic. Also, the donation. I did invite SDA to be on the show tonight to sort of, match up with the lineup there, but she had other obligations. She might show up later this week. Don't know. But yeah, there you go. I actually had to go find the font for that please select thing in order to make that deal. Otherwise, everything else is relatively self-explanatory. But there you go, guys. And yeah, otherwise, how are you guys doing? How are you, Satsu?
Pretty good, but my avatar is looking kind of concerned. You guys heard the rumor about Princess Peach and her toads, right?
No, why don't you tell us?
Where she likes to keep them.
Oh, where does she like to keep the toads?
I can't disclose that information. Anyway, I'm doing pretty good. Had a fairly decent day. Played me some Monster Hunter. Hung out with Squeetus, and today I decided, since a lot of my family are not able to come over here for various reasons, I one by one video chatted all of my family members, or at least the most important ones, and so they all got a chance to see Squeetus, which was nice. The only one I didn't get to was my dad, but that's because his wife was at work at the time, and by the time she got home, Aaliyah was sleeping. So I figured I'd probably do that like every now and then, because like I said, a lot of them have a hard time getting over to where I am to see her. So I am bringing her to them. So other than that, though, pretty standard day.
All right, Monkey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I took a nap today, and a certain toll-free flower company woke me up.
Hmm. Is that because it is Lady Monkey's birthday?
It is indeed, but they called because they screwed up so spectacularly yesterday,
Well,
and
yeah.
they called twice. Normally, I will ignore the first call from anybody and just sleep through it. My damn phone kept going off. Like, what the hell is this? And I answered as them, and I was like, are you kidding me? But we actually had a decent conversation. But yes, it is Lady Monkey's birthday, and despite the screw ups with that company, yeah, I was able to get her a nice bouquet that she really, really likes. So everything turned out well.
Well, you know what I have to do if it's Lady Monkey's birthday?
What's that?
I have to sing real nice to her.
Well, do so. I've already sang to her today twice.
All right. Well, at whatever point that Lady Monkey happens to listen to this. This one is for you. Happy birthday to you.
Don't think you special, Lady Monkey.
Happy birthday to you.
You do this for everybody.
Happy birthday, Lady Monkey.
Okay, he held that one note just a little longer, but whatever.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. I love you.
Happy birthday, Lady Monkey. And thank you, Attack Alpaca. I'm thinking Chris Saliza should be Mauser. Well, he is kind of annoying. Maybe.
And he is a lizard, and turtles are shelled lizards.
That's true. But with that, guys, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, as is probably apparent. Hit that like button if you have not already. And per tradition, about 2/3 of you have not. And share our stuff. Each of us in our own way have things to share. And I bet you dollars to donuts that there are creators out there that you like that have stuff to share. And you better do it, because YouTube doesn't. And that's the only way that our audiences grow and people see our stuff. So thank you. Oh yeah, as for myself, I had an okay day at work. I had a very productive day when I got home. I'll talk about that at YouTube time. And other than that, yeah, there you go. Exciting stuff in my life. So, anything else before we get into the schnews?
No.
You want honeycomb?
You want honeycomb. I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
Wow, you're useless.
I'm useless. Wow, you really set the tone before we get into the news. Speaking of useless, Trump fires John Bolton.
Oh, no.
Like I said on Twitter, I can't say I'm shedding a tear that Bolton is gone, but I am curious to know what was the breaking point. Most people are guessing it's the Taliban thing. I don't know if they've made an official statement yet or not, but maybe CNN will tell us. President Donald Trump abruptly announced in a tweet Tuesday that he has asked National Security Advisor John Bolton to resign, noting that he, quote, strongly disagreed with many, unquote, of Bolton's suggestions, quote, as did others in the administration, unquote. Excuse me. Quote, I thank John very much for his service. I will be naming a new National Security Advisor next week, Trump wrote. The tweet came just 1 hour after the White House press office said Bolton was scheduled to appear at a Tuesday press briefing alongside Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. Asked during the briefing whether he and Mnuchin were surprised that Bolton was fired, given that he was supposed to appear alongside them, Pompeo said, quote, I'm never surprised, unquote. So you're like a ninja, or you just come to accept how the president operates? I don't know. Bolton, however, maintains he offered to leave his post voluntarily, tweeting minutes after Trump's announcement, quote, I offered to resign last night, and President Trump said, let's talk about it tomorrow, unquote. Bolton reiterated the point that it was he who offered to resign on Fox News Tuesday. Excuse me, guys. His resignation letter to Trump, dated Tuesday, was short and to the point, with Bolton writing, quote, I hereby resign, effective immediately, as Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs. Thank you for having afforded me this opportunity to serve our country, unquote. The White House is already discussing potential candidates to replace Bolton, several sources told CNN. There are at least 10 names being circulated, and there does not appear to be a short list at this time. Trump said he will make a decision next week, but given the president's unpredictable nature, sources warn that he could choose someone who is not under discussion right now. Yeah, so you think it was Taliban for the decision to negotiate therewith?
Well, there was actually a story I read, and this is uncorroborated. They said so even in the story. But there's rumors going around that Bolton is the one who even leaked that President Trump was going to be talking to the Taliban.
Oh.
Which apparently Bolton has denied in private. And again, all uncorroborated. But I could see if that was it, absolutely. If Trump thought Bolton was leaking to the press, that would be enough for him, because that's one thing he does not tolerate.
You think Bolton, okay, and again, assuming it's true.
Assuming it's true.
Knowing Bolton as we do you think that was something done to defame the decision or to promote it?
To stop it. To stop it from happening, to stop any discussion from happening. Because, again, this was coming up. Good night, sweetheart. I love you. Good night, sweetheart. Anyway, she's going to bed. Love you, sweetheart. Happy birthday.
I sang to you.
We know Bolton wasn't a fan of this. Bolton, and with the timing and everything, come out and it tell him, hey, look, there's this talk going on right near 9/11 with the Taliban. Yeah, I mean that. And again, I don't know that Bolton did it, but I could see people who work for Bolton doing it. Bolton wasn't a good national security advisor anyway. They don't get along. They don't agree. I don't have a problem with Bolton going anyway. I'm not the hugest Bolton fan. I know there's a lot of people who love the guy.
Oh God.
I just
After his attitude, comments, and performance during the Bush administration, amongst everything else, I was like, when I don't even know if I said it. I must have said it on the show when he selected him, but something to the effect of like, didn't Trump say something about draining the swamp? Just one more out of the bullpen of past not so well run administrations into his own. Yeah, I'm not sad to see the guy go. But you want to start guessing as to who could replace him?
I saw two names and I can't remember who they were.
Well, I've got the 10 names being discussed, apparently, from CNN. Some of whom, well, most of whom I've never heard of before, but let's find out. I'll just list them off, and if there's anything worth talking about, we'll continue. Let's see. On the list, no particular order, Brian Hook, U.S. Special Representative for Iran and Senior Policy Advisor to Mike Pompeo. Hook's name is being floated as a possibility to replace Bolton, according to 3 sources familiar with the discussions.
Aha.
I never heard of him, so I don't have any comment elsewhere. Let's see. Next is Ricky Waddell, Major General in the United States Army Reserve, who served for a year as Trump's Deputy National Security Advisor. I'm okay. I'm going to start over. I'm going to read it as it's written, as they say. Or as I say. Ricky Waddell, Major General in the United States Army Reserve, who served for a year as Trump's Deputy National Security Advisor to Trump.
Okay. That was not well written.
A little repetitive. White House officials are discussing Waddell as an option to replace Bolton as well, according to 3 sources familiar with the ongoing talks.
Sorry. Lady Monkey says she heard y'all sing and she says thank you.
Yay!
Night, baby.
Let's see. Next is Steve Biegun, or Biegun, Biegun, U.S. Special Representative to North Korea. Biegun's name is also circulating among White House officials, according to 3 sources familiar with the discussions. See a pattern forming here. Did you talk to just 3 people and they all told you this list? Rob Blair, National Security Advisor to the Acting Chief of Staff, Mike Mulvaney. Richard Grenell, U.S. Ambassador to Germany. His name sounds familiar for some reason. Ooh, here's a more familiar name. Pete Hoekstra, U.S. Ambassador to the Netherlands. Hoekstra's name was floated as a potential replacement for Bolton by a Trump ally. The ambassador has also come up in discussions for the Director of National Intelligence vacancy. Hoekstra spent 7 years on the House Intelligence Committee and is regarded by lawmakers on both sides of the aisle as an experienced official. I remember hearing his name quite a bit back in the day.
Hoekstra, was he? I think he used to be here from Michigan.
I think.
I think he was one of our guys. Yeah.
Keith Kellogg, National Security Advisor to Vice President Mike Pence. Douglas McGregor, retired U.S. Army Colonel. Jack Keane, retired four-star general. I remember Jack Keane. Keane has informally advised the president on matters of national security, including negotiations with the Taliban. But while his name has surfaced in discussions amongst White House officials, a source familiar with Keane's thinking told CNN he would not accept the job if asked. Well, and lastly, Fred Fleitz, former chief of staff to Bolton at NSC. I don't know if he's going to want to pick a Bolton loyalist to replace Bolton. That seems a little awkward. But you know what I noticed about all this list?
What's that? No women?
Not a single woman's name. Sexist.
Blasphemy.
You want somebody who can do the job.
Oh, monkey.
What? So he.
Monkey.
There was. Oh, what I did.
Oh, okay.
You have some super chats.
Oh. Whoa, holy cats. Thank you, Terry Diamantis. Typo in the ticker. You have quotes instead of an apostrophe in maybe I'll do ads again. Do I? Okay.
Good job, Terry. Get him.
Hey, there's no autocorrect or spelling correct in OBS, so sometimes I make mistakes. I will correct it shortly. And thank you, Cody Fry. There can be only three to summon the Lord of Puppies. Another must be sacrificed. One of equivalent value, the Lord of Pennies. Oh.
For real?
Oh,
Wait,
burn.
Wait, hang on. Does that mean you and me are higher than that or lower than that?
I don't know. That's a good question. That is a very good question.
So do I get a donation too like that since I'm being sacrificed?
Well, what do you need a donation for if you're dead?
For my Squeetus.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll have to ask Cody Fry on Thursday, I guess.
Jeez.
But regardless, gosh, thank you, Cody, and thank you again, Terry. Appreciate that. We still only have 51 likes. Almost 200 people watching, 51 likes. You got this far. I mean, do you? Don't you? Do you like the very like annoyed / scared look on SDA's face? I think that's every time I look at that, I can't help but giggle a little bit inside. I really wish she was here to see that. I think she would really, really enjoy that. Maybe she'll see this later.
She's in another castle.
Yeah, probably writing a book. I wish I could write a book. Anyway, what else is going on in the world? Well, hey, you know, there was some news in Israel today.
Oh, yeah?
Hear about this?
I did. I saw Ilhan Omar whining about it.
Netanyahu says Israel will annex parts of West Bank if he's reelected. Doesn't that just sound all sorts of promising? Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced plans to annex parts of the West Bank if he wins re-election next week. Netanyahu told reporters at a press conference that, if re-elected and able to form a coalition, he would apply Israeli sovereignty over the Jordan Valley and the northern Dead Sea. He said he expected U.S. President Donald Trump to present his Middle East peace plan just days after Israelis vote next Tuesday, September 17th, and that in coordination with the U.S., he would also look to apply sovereignty over all Israeli settlements in the West Bank. Sorry. I'm having a real trouble with my voice tonight. I think I might be losing it. Quote, the U.S. plan poses a great challenge for us and a great opportunity, a historic opportunity to apply sovereignty over settlements in the West Bank and other areas of importance to our heritage, Netanyahu said. Okay. I'll pause there. Okay, and I'm no expert on Middle East politics by any means, but doesn't that poke the bear of violence from the other side of the aisle, as it were?
Sure.
Okay, just wanted to make I knew it was something of what I was talking about. A U.S. administration official told CNN, quote, "There is no change in U.S. policy at this time. We will release our vision for peace after the Israeli election and work to determine the best path forward to bring long-sought security, opportunity, and stability to the region," unquote, by annexing parts of the West Bank and asserting Israeli sovereignty around the Dead Sea. Right, stability. Okay. If carried out, Netanyahu's plan would be a major blow. Whoa, somebody revving their engine. Major blow, possibly a fatal one, to efforts to reach a negotiated two-state solution between Israelis and Palestinians. In one swoop, it would remove part of the land that Palestinians, with support from the international community, regard as the site of a future Palestinian state. Yeah, they don't care about peace. I don't know why we keep beating a dead horse on this subject. Neither side of the equation actually wants to do what would be necessary to reach a compromise, ever, no matter how much they say elsewise. And Netanyahu certainly not one of them. Quote, "Unilateral actions are not helpful to the peace process," said UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in a statement Tuesday. Quote, "Any Israeli decision to impose its laws, jurisdiction, and administration in the occupied West Bank is without international legal effect," unquote. Ayman Odeh, who represents Arab citizens of Israel in the Knesset, condemned Netanyahu's announcement as a declaration that Israel is, quote, "effectively an apartheid state," unquote. In a statement, the leader of the Joint Arab List, the alliance of parties representing Arab Israeli citizens in next week's elections, said, quote, "Netanyahu is systematically closing the historical files. He is liquidating the Palestinian issue and eliminating the possibility of a peaceful two-state solution, that is, the possibility of peace. This is the implementation of the American deal of the century and the official declaration that Israel is effectively an apartheid state," unquote. Okay, so hyperbole or at least a kernel of truth? What do you think?
How do you mean?
The apartheid state completely destroying the peace process.
Well, there's never going to be peace as long as Palestinians and Jews both occupy that land. Mm-hmm. There's not, because it doesn't matter. We can sit here and talk about Netanyahu doesn't want peace, and you know what? That's probably true. But there's been plenty of concessions going back decades, and it never matters. It's never enough. It's just time to let one of them out, just rub out the other. I'm done. I don't care. And I know that's probably the wrong
just a little bit. That's a little bit of a defeatist idea. Yeah.
I've watched this for literally decades.
Yeah.
And every time they get even close to peace, it's like, oh look, Palestinians are blowing shit up again. So for me to sit here and be like, look, yeah, I mean, Netanyahu, he's being a dick here. He doesn't really care about peace. I'm like, okay, maybe. But has it mattered? Has it fucking all the stuff that the Israelis have offered? Has it ever mattered? Has it ever been enough? It absolutely is not. So, yeah, I'm at the wash my hands of it phase. I don't care. They deserve each other. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know. I mean, not that I spend my time worrying too much about what's going on in the Middle East per se, but just as obviously a casual observer over the entirety of my life, I don't know why we spend so much time, effort, money, lives, etc., trying to hold up a part of the world that couldn't stand on its own if it wanted to. And I know it's a horrible thing to say, but it's just going to be an endless conflict that'll never go away. And it's only perpetuated by us being involved. There's no good answer to it. There's no right answer, one that comes out of it with people not being hurt in some way, shape, or form. You can't abandon your allies since we have so few in that part of the world. At the same time, we're just, dumping gasoline on an never-ending fire. I don't know. I don't know. But certainly, if Netanyahu gets reelected and he does this, it's just going to push the tiniest sliver of possibility of peace completely out for decades, if not forever. And not that there was much of a sliver of peace to begin with. The closest they ever got was that Camp David meeting during Clinton's time, where Yasser Arafat went there with what the hell was that guy? The guy representing Israel at the time. I completely forget what the prime minister's name was.
Rabin?
No, it wasn't Yitzhak Rabin. It was anyway. I think he was dead before then. But anyway, the closest they came were they offered Yasser Arafat a deal, practically giving him everything, just to finally come to an agreement. And it was some small, tiny little, like, honorific or something they wouldn't provide over ego or something. And Arafat said no. And it's just like, yeah, you guys don't care. You just don't care at all. You don't want anything. And then, of course, when the Israeli prime minister got back to Israel and they found out what he'd offered Arafat, they went nuts, and he didn't become a prime minister again after that. But that was the closest we ever came. So,
well, Prospero said this earlier. He was talking to Pyrrhus Creed.
Yeah, Menachem Begin. Menachem Begin, that's who it was.
There you go. It says, I'm sick of hearing Israel blamed for not making peace with the likes of Hamas. Hamas's charter calls for the eradication of Jews. And that's what it's, I mean, no matter what happens, it's never going to be peace, because the Palestinians, there's nothing about them that actually wants peace with the Jews. And nobody in that region, she also pointed out, nobody in that region gives a fuck about the Palestinians. Nobody. The Egyptians, the Syrians, Iraqis, Iranians, none of them give a fuck about the Palestinians, other than maybe they can cause some problems for the Israelis, because the Israelis are hated in the region.
Yeah.
It's a horrible situation that should have just been allowed to work its course a long time ago.
Anyway, I got one other story. This is one that I actually tweeted out today, but I thought it was a slightly funny story, sort of, or a teachable moment. Staten Island woman arrested in Russia for allegedly bringing marijuana into the country. A New York woman has been arrested in Russia on suspicion of possessing marijuana that she said was for medicinal purposes, Russian courts told CNN on Tuesday. Audrey Eliza Lorber was arrested on charges of transporting cannabis into Russia from the United States after marijuana weighing about 19 grams was found during a search of her possessions at St. Petersburg's Pulkovo Airport. 19 grams is nearly 3/4 of an ounce. Lorber had a U.S. permit to use marijuana as part of a medical program, but the permit doesn't apply in Russian territory. A criminal prosecution has not started. It wasn't immediately clear when the arrest happened or what medical condition Lorber has. U.S. Representative Max Rose, who represents Staten Island, where Lorber lives, tweeted on Saturday that he was trying to help Lorber come home. Quote, I'm working to help get Audrey home as soon as possible because no American citizen should be held in jail for a medical condition, the statement said. Max, she broke Russian laws. She did not do any research ahead of going to a foreign country, and as soon as she got off that plane, she was under their laws. I don't know what idiot she was to do that, but she was. I think she should be punished. I don't think she'd be something major because she obviously or seemingly wasn't there to distribute the stuff, but all the same, stupid is as stupid should get, in my opinion.
She's lucky she didn't do it in Singapore. She'd be dead by now.
No kidding. There's a lot of countries that even though, I mean, Russia might be, strangely enough, maybe one of the more progressive countries in such a situation. But yeah, if she'd been in Singapore, if she'd been in Vietnam, any of the Southeast Asian countries, she'd be in deep shit right now.
Yeah. Hey, little white millennials, leave your stash at home.
Yeah. Or at the very least, before you make plans to go to a foreign country, check to see if anything you have that you think is legal here is allowed there. How stupid.
And let me throw this out there for you as well, sweetheart. There's places in the U.S. where that little card isn't going to do you any good either.
No kidding. Let's see. And work is telling me what? Work is telling me everything's good. Okay, so with that out of the way, we'll go on to MSS News. So, guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter. Never mind. Yes.
I'm sorry. Before we move on, I do want to point out I'm for legalization. I just want to throw that out there. But know what the fuck you're doing, people. I'm not. Stop being dumb. All right. I'm sorry. There you go. I don't want anybody going, why don't you like pot? I don't give a fuck about pot, but pay attention to what you're doing for fuck's sake. Sorry, Scott.
Are you really done this time? Because I was about to start and then you cut in.
I don't know. We'll see when you start talking.
If you guys have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Try to get to them all, but Monkey's probably going to interrupt me, so we won't.
You know what? It turns out I was done. You got through that whole thing.
I sang to your wife, for crying out loud.
I know.
Yeah, all right. You can give me a little slack, maybe? A little bit?
Well, I pointed out that I was finished.
Okay. Slack is for closers, Scribe.
Dude! Satsu, have you seen that movie? Tell me you've seen that movie.
Well played.
I can't remember where the reference is from.
Oh, it's Glenn Ross, dude. Oh, man. When Jack Lemmon's in the back of the sales office and he's getting a pot of coffee, and Alec Baldwin he's at the front of the room and he turns and points at him, he yells at him and says, "Put that coffee down! Coffee is for closers." And Jack Lemmon gives him a look like he's going to kill him.
Yeah, I know. I heard that before, and I'm just like, this is the time to say this.
There's actually a better reference in Boss Baby, where Alec plays the baby.
Yes.
He yells at another baby, "Cookies are for closers."
Of course he does.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful callback.
Yeah. If you guys ever want to see just a single scene that just says everything you need to know and does an excellent job establishing the stakes of a story, the individual characters in a story, when you have a chance, look up the Always Be closing scene from Glenn Ross. It is one of the most expertly written, acted little scenes ever. And I understand that Kevin Spacey's in there, but he doesn't really say anything mostly, so that's fine. But yeah. Anyway, moving on.
You know, that is the only part of that movie I've ever seen, and it is fucking excellent, guys.
The movie and the whole movie is great. That scene is what sets everything up. But it's everything that proceeds after that is still so good. Jack Lemmon is so good in that movie. Oh my God! I mean, Ed Harris, Alan Arkin, even Kevin Spacey. Alec Baldwin's only in that one scene, but everybody in that movie. Oh, and Al Pacino. Jesus, everybody in that movie is great. That whole movie is worth watching if you haven't already. Anyway, now after interrupting myself. This one comes from Frosted Glass. And Frosted Glass has a Medium article, we're getting a lot of these lately, that asks the question, what do we do about women with a penis?
Stop calling them women.
Only one?
Ta-da!
How many
Finished.
have the single? Several people have one. The penis in women's spaces, the cotton ceiling, and the definition of woman, the cotton ceiling?
The cotton ceiling. They're not talking about tampons, are they?
I have no idea what the cotton ceiling means. I've heard of the glass ceiling. I'm trying to think if I've heard of any other kind of ceilings.
Don't think too hard about it, dude.
I'm just going to do a find because I want to know what the cotton ceiling. Okay, I skipped down like a third of the article. The cotton ceiling. The term cotton ceiling was coined by porn actress and trans activist Drew DeVoe in 2015. I've never heard of this term, and I've never heard of that person, but okay. It's been used to refer to the tendency by cisgender lesbians to outwardly include and support trans women, but draw the line at considering ever having sex with them. Excuse me?
So we're back at the take my female penis or you're a bigot.
Exactly.
Yep.
Sleep with me or you're a racist. Sleep with me or you're a bigot. Sleep with me or a homophobe. Sleep with me or you're a transphobe. Several trans activists have very lucidly addressed the various prejudices that play into this position. I believe Riley J. Dennis nails it here.
And then there's that's why he was pissed.
They did not.
And there's a link to a Riley video.
You've got to be
I'm not. Well, okay, again, guys, Medium is essentially just a glorified blog site. So, anyway. Sadly, I've seen at least 2 YouTube responses from turfy vloggers who profoundly and maliciously twist Riley's words to connote an obligation to sleep with trans women.
That's what it is.
That's not twisting the words. It's if you don't sleep with trans women, you're a transphobe or you're a sexist or whatever.
Yeah, that's almost exactly what he said.
All right. If this has occurred to you, please stick around, okay? The point of such discussion is not ever to exhort anyone to have grudging sex without enthusiastic consent. I think you mean extort. Exhort does not mean what I think you mean it to mean in this sentence, person who wrote this. Let's just make sure that I'm not telling stories out of school. Strongly encourage or urge. Really? Because I could see extort working very well there. Okay, I'll take it back.
Well,
I was
extort is actually the word that... Because, hang on, no. She used the wrong word there because...
No, exhort is encourage.
Well, yeah, she's saying it's not meant to encourage, but no, nobody's suggesting it means to encourage. We're specifically saying it's meant to extort. That's what the charge is that if you don't sleep with me, then you're a transphobe. That's not encouraging. That is extortion.
Well, okay, the point of such discussion is not ever to encourage anyone to have grudging sex without enthusiastic consent. Now, that works. That works. I'm taking it back. I made a mistake. That makes sense. Yeah, you're right. Our perspective is that it's meant to extort people, but that word is not encouraging.
Exactly.
The point of such discussion is to exhort. You really like using that word. Exhort folks, encourage folks. Why do you say encourage? To examine their inherent discriminatory prejudices, parentheses, bigotry.
But
don't use that. Okay, that's not what bigotry is. Okay, it's hating somebody because of their ideas or opinions. It's not because... Prejudice, fine. Okay, and before you get all bristly on me, too late, I will confess a few bigotries of my own. Oh, well, gosh, doesn't that just make you human like the rest of us?
A bigot's going to call me a bigot. I'm shocked.
Had you asked me 5 years ago, I would have told you, 1, I would never date an Asian. 2, I just
not the same thing.
Hold on. Quote, it's 2, sorry. I just don't find trans men attractive. 3, I wouldn't consider a trans woman relationship material. Times have changed and I have grown. I am presently in a serious, committed relationship with an Asian NB non-binary. I find Buck Angel very desirable and I would absolutely date a trans woman. What's changed? My familiarity and proximity. I've humanized such folks by getting to know a few, which led me to challenge and re-examine my prejudices and fixed ideas. Are you telling me that you have a trans friend or something? Okay. This is the... I'm done.
Dating an Asian is not the same as dating somebody with the same genitals as you.
Okay.
That's not the same thing.
Okay. All right, my brain's melting.
So my question, And this is a question that never gets answered. They're like, we don't want you to just go out and fuck trans people. We just want you to acknowledge the fact that you're a bigot and you hate them. And it's just like, okay, so if I examine my behavior, after I examine it, if I still come to the conclusion that, okay, examined where these biases are coming from, still don't want to fuck them, what happens then? Am I a bigot then? Am I intolerant then?
Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic. Dating an a sin. Heh, a sin.
So stupid.
It's right up there with repentant white people, right? It's like, I'm so sorry I'm white and I'm a better white person than everybody else. Yeah, but everybody looking at you still knows you're white. It doesn't change anything. It changes absolutely nothing by anybody who's going to look upon you and decide and judge you by your actions or by what you are. It's just this self-hatred. And the only way you can show how pure you are is by actually taking the action they say is the virtuous thing to do. Yeah, if their opinion of you matters that much, when in my humble opinion, it shouldn't matter, because go to hell whoever wants to start judging people on who they will or will not sleep with just because you think it's some kind of moral absolute.
They can't even keep their argument straight there. That's what pisses me off.
Is not what they're saying, Scribe. They're not saying you should sleep with them. They're saying that you should sleep with them.
They're saying you need to think about sleeping with them and at least entertain the idea by sleeping with them. All right. Anyway.
But they ain't telling you to sleep with them.
All right. This one comes from Quinn Harrison. A lot of time on that one, but that's okay. If you have something to say, we're going to say. That's what we do on this show. We say things. We think. Yeah. Church vandalized with satanic graffiti after pastor protests drag queen story hour.
Huh.
Interesting response. A church in California was vandalized after its pastor and members protested a library's decision to host a drag queen story hour. Police are now investigating the attack as a hate crime. Interesting. And, okay, I shouldn't be getting a text at this time. It's my sister. What does my sister have to... Oh. I see. So, yeah, I won't tell that story. Moving on. South Bay Pentecostal Church of Chula Vista has been openly critical of the Chula Vista Public Library for sanctioning an event where drag queens read to children. Over the weekend, 2 suspects vandalized the church building, spraying graffiti on the walls, including messages promoting Lucifer, Satan, and King of Hell. Oh, that last one, they could have been advertising the Netflix series. Executive Pastor Amado Huizar told local news outlet KGTV Channel 10 that he had, quote, no doubt his church was targeted for its campaigning against the drag queen event. Quote, sure enough, at every corner there were phrases, hateful words, and graffiti on the walls of our church, said Huizar. I'm heartbroken, but I'm going to continue to speak. Well, the people that did that are assholes. Thank you, Sanguine. Pen is in female spaces. Sorry. Pen is... Penis in female spaces sounds like an even more than normally awkward start to the birds and bees talk. Nice. And I'll take the penis mightier for 500, Trebek. That's the pen is mightier, Mr. Connery. Hate crime. Do you think it's a hate crime? Or should be classified as one?
Well,
I don't think
technically it is by the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They did that specifically because they hate the people who protested their shit. So
yeah.
In a similar vein, this one comes from Desert Tramp. I have this. Thank you, Sanguine, again. The good old suck mad ick. Suck my dick. Or you are a bigot line of thought. Remember, as Nye taught us, you can't force people to be hetero, but but you can orgy them by. That's true. And good God, what is going
Ice
on?
cream taught us that lesson.
My sister wants to tell me something. Okay. All right, good. Thank you, Cody Fry. Sorry about the late reply. I'm at work. In response to your concern, Scribe, Ranting Monkey, you two are irreplaceable. Satsu, I already sent you Squeedus money. Oh. Well, Satsu, there you go.
But
Satsu?
no. But I want to be irreplaceable too.
Irreplaceable. That's what you are. Irreplaceable. Though near or far. Little too much Natalie Cole there, not enough Nat King Cole. Anyway. Hate crimes. Desert Tramp sent us this one. Arizona ranked to have one of the most anti-LGB hate crimes. One of the most ranked.
One of the most.
Are they rating them individually now? Like 10 out of 10 or something?
Oh, that one's close. That one's close.
I give that one a 9.8. Okay, on Tuesday, a study showed Arizona to rank number 5 for the most attacks against LGBT members. Is it a club? Is it? According to security.org, sounds official, hate crimes against the LGBT community have increased more than 1/3 since 1996. In Arizona, there was said to be 0.95 anti-LGBT incidents per 100,000 people, and a 23.3% of all bias-motivated incidents in the state targeted the LGBT community. Okay, well, I guess, yeah, stay away from Arizona, or I guess they need to have some kind of something in it. Thank you, Sanguine. Blame YouTube for my creative spelling. No, I understand. It just takes me a second for my brain to sort of process, because, I'm very literal. It takes me a second. I apologize for that. Arizona sucks, apparently. Although a lot of YouTubers I know are live there. Right? Well, not know, but that I watch. Like, isn't Razor Fist in Arizona?
Razor Fist, yeah.
Yeah, Razor Fist is in Arizona. I think, at least at the time, Spoonie was in Arizona. I don't watch Spoonie much anymore. I don't even know if he does anything anymore. We have an update from Senior Staff Reporter and Chief Corruption Correspondent, Colleen Bernier.
Oh.
I know. Let's see. Breaking news. Patriots Antonio Brown accused of rape in Florida.
Oops,
he may have done it again. I'll get to that in a minute. Fall River Mayor temporarily ousted from office amid fraud and extortion charges. The Fall River City Council voted to temporarily oust embattled Mayor Jazeel Correa from office as he faces federal extortion charges. Council President Cliff Ponte will temporarily replace Correa as acting mayor. The emergency measure was approved by the council 8-1. Correa was arrested for the second.
One of them assholes actually stood behind that guy?
Apparently so. He's betting high. Betting high.
Oh my God.
Correa was arrested for the second time in less than a year last week. He is accused of abusing his power as mayor by extorting hundreds of thousands of dollars from marijuana vendors. I think specifically somewhere in the neighborhood of $600,000. Everything else in the story is what we've already talked about. So there's the latest and greatest with Fall City, or Fall River, whatever it is.
Remember, that guy hasn't been cleared on the original charges that he's still facing.
Yeah, no, he's just waiting to be tried on these things. It's just...
Jesus, fuck. I'm not quite sure I want to vote him out right now. He could be innocent.
Well, if he does get exonerated or get off of the charges and everything, he knows who his friend is back at the city council, and he's a very influential mayor who may be a crime lord. I want to piss that guy off. So let's lateral real quick. I used a football term. Over to the Antonio Brown thing. Foxborough, Massachusetts. Interesting. Newly acquired Patriots wide receiver Antonio Brown is being accused of rape, according to a federal lawsuit filed Tuesday in Florida. The lawsuit, filed by a 28-year-old woman described as a gymnast, a college classmate of Brown's and his former trainer, alleges that Brown sexually assaulted and raped her on 3 occasions in June 2017 and May 2018. Brown allegedly exposed himself to the woman and then kissed her during a June 2017 training session, according to the lawsuit. The alleged victim claimed that he sexually assaulted her later that month, at which point she severed ties with him, but reestablished them several months later after he apologized. Brown then allegedly forcibly raped the woman in May 2018. Her attorneys claim that she has suffered panic attacks and suicidal thoughts since that time. She also denies ever having any dating or romantic relationship with Brown, a claim which Brown's attorneys dispute. So Brown's defense is that it was consensual, romantic, dating relationship that led to this. So he's not denying he had sexual contact with the lady, I guess.
And you know what I didn't hear in there? Charges.
Yeah, it's a lawsuit.
I heard lawsuit. Yeah. Sorry, sweetheart. I don't believe you. When you start with a lawsuit instead of going to the police, I don't believe you.
And just after he became really, really big in the news, all of a sudden, this is the
amazing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing. Like, and now is the perfect time to bring this up.
This is the kind of decision making. Like, even if she's being truthful, like everything surrounding her decision to come forward and the decision she's making in doing it completely put question marks over the entire motivation, the timing, truth of it.
Yep.
And again, and if she's not being truthful, all she's doing is just diluting the possibilities of someone in a different situation down the line who actually has a true story to talk about being believed. Anyway, moving on. This was all over the place today, too, and kind of funny, kind of irritating. I don't know. This one comes from Corey Sasuki. If it'll come up. Taking its time. CNN, what's wrong with you? Well, that's a long, long show by itself.
No shit.
Apparently, CNN does not want me to see this story. Well, just so you know, there's a new edition of Monopoly that's coming out. It's called Miss Monopoly, which has special rules wherein if you're a female player passing Go, you get $240 instead of $200. $200 being relegated to just the male players.
You also start with $1,900 instead of the normal $1,500.
Right. It finally came up. That's not the only difference, though. Instead of buying property, players will invest in inventions created by women. Things like Wi-Fi and chocolate chip cookies. But no worries, mainstays such as jail, luxury taxes, and chance cards are still included. The announcement of Miss Monopoly comes a few weeks after the company received criticism for Monopoly Socialism, a tongue-in-cheek game that sparked debate for its flippant handling of socialism. Yeah, flippant. So, is this another tongue-in-cheek, or is this meant to be a real, true-blood statement?
Well, one thing I will say is the people who saw the Monopoly Socialism was just like, ha 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 ha, look, Monopoly trolling, that's so funny. And then they saw this one and they're like, oh, what the fuck is this bullshit? So I'm just like, well, which is it? Are they trolling, or is it just when you see something you don't like, it's bullshit?
Yeah. The company said, it's a fun new take on the game that creates a world where women have an advantage often enjoyed by men. I seem to recall the original rules of the game gave no preference to the players based on their gender, and everybody had to start out the same, and you either made it or you didn't by luck and by skill. So I'm not quite sure what world it is where all men somehow get 20% extra every time they do anything that makes money.
Now, as somebody who loves Monopoly dearly, It is my favorite board game. I've talked about it many times.
Mhm.
I have friends and family who refuse to play with me because I am fucking brutal. If you sit down to play Monopoly with me, I will crush you. That is my job in that game. I have no problem with what they're doing here. I really don't. If you look, they had not long ago. Do you guys remember Millennial Monopoly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's still out on the shelves. Socialism Monopoly. I think what they're doing is they are being very what's the word? Smart, actually. Very smart in playing to different demographics that they know, like, look, you know what? We've sold all the NFL monopolies and Star Wars monopolies and all these other branded monopolies. How about we start going for the social issue monopolies?
The culture war monopolies.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And they're going through all of them, and I'm like, it's funny. The only thing I said snarky about it was basically Hasbro just admitted that women are so inferior to men that they need a handicap in this game.
Yep, it's kind of funny.
What culture war subject that they haven't covered so far do we want to see next?
I want to see racist Monopoly.
Oh
no!
Oh, what are you going to do with that, Monkey? How would you do those rules? What would you add to the game?
Depending on your race, like you have to submit your race when you first start. That'll determine what dice you use.
Yes.
And if you're black, your dice only have up to 1 through 3 on them, and all the rest of them are X'd out.
Yeah, and white people get 2 through 5, and Asians get 5 and 6.
Oh, and if you're black, there are only certain properties that you're allowed to buy.
Yeah,
because
you can't even buy them. You can only rent,
and you can only build houses, no hotels.
If you buy property, the white players are allowed to build hotels on your property and gentrify it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, you buy Baltic Avenue, a white person lands on it, buys it out from under you, and charges you rent.
See, I'm telling you, this is hard.
Oh man. Oh.
And in all seriousness, when I first saw this story last night on Twitter, I was like, "Oh dear God!" But I talked about it this morning, and I think it's just them being very, very smart in marketing. I really do.
Oh, can you imagine how many copies of Miss Monopoly are going to be handed out as door prizes at the next feminist convention?
They're going to buy the fuck out of these things.
Yeah, they are.
And to anybody, because I saw the Quartering, he put out a tweet just a little while ago. This Monopoly, they're not in on the joke. They're just being woke. I'm like, then explain socialist Monopoly for fuck's sake. Right. That just came out.
Oh man! Actually, you know what I want to see, and I'm not even kidding. I want to see Cyberpunk 2077 Monopoly.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure.
Depending on how well it sells.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what kind of special rules would be put in there, aside from locations and things. But that'd be cool. Anyway, guys, we are at the top of the hour, and so now it's time for YouTube time. Thank you guys so much for all the stories. I know we didn't get to them all, but that just means there's plenty of fodder for Monkey to pull from for the next Monkey in the Morning. Or for us to do tomorrow if we have extra time. I can scroll through more of them. We do get long-winded, as you've noticed, as you probably know by now, hopefully. Also,
on Monkey in the Morning, I have to hit my hashtag because I haven't hit it in like a week.
Hit it or quit it.
Hit it or quit it.
Also, 84 likes. 230 people watching. And hello, all you people watching. I do appreciate that. I'm always, I remember when we were excited to have like 80 people watching us. Or like the very first Monkey stream where we're just a test and like 60 people showed up within the first 5 minutes or something. To see that number climb bit by bit over time is very, very gratifying, and I really do appreciate all you guys, everybody watching, especially all our regulars, all you out there, whether you're here visibly in the chat or just lurking in the background. Thank you guys for showing up. But yeah, anyway, 94 likes. Can we get to 100? I'd like to get to 100. Maybe 150. I mean, there's 230 of you here. I know eight people didn't like the show already, and I'm sorry for that. I don't know. Maybe it was my singing. It was probably my Natalie Cole impression. My accidental Natalie Cole impression. I can't do Nat King Cole. I'm not that good.
Unforgettable. Those 8 people can kiss my ass.
Okay, and you know how much Monkey hates having his butt touched, so that's actually kind of a gift. YouTube time. I'll go first. That seems to be what I do. I made a whole video today. I recorded
Cool.
I scripted it yesterday, but I recorded all the audio, and I did all the assembly, and I have the video, and it's all ready to go. It's ready to be posted. I'm going to post it tomorrow morning when I get to work, because I was too close to the show, and though I do have a habit of posting my videos when I have them sometimes right before the show starts, I didn't want to do that. I want to spread it out a little bit. But it is a TEDx talk. It is a TEDx talk about physical training in law enforcement. And if you can imagine what kind of people talk at TEDx about what subjects, you might be able to think of what the finer tuned subject of that talk is.
Oh boy.
But you will see all that tomorrow morning, so keep an eye on my channel. Subscribe, hit that bell button. I think that still works. I don't know. Supposedly, that gives you notifications. Other than that, I tweaked and fixed up the theme for tonight's show. And beyond that, I think that's everything.
Scribe was out there tweaking.
Yeah, I was totes, man. I was like on the crank all day. Satsu, what have you been up to?
Well, I recorded a cooking video today, which was fun because I made something that I hadn't made in a while. You guys will be able to check that out when that is uploaded. Outside of that, I didn't really do anything else YouTube-wise. I've been, like I said, making a plan to once everything starts to settle down here, because I actually had to end the game stream early last night because Squishy was seriously overwhelmed last night with the baby and very distressed, like much more distressed than I think I've ever seen her before, and I had to go help her out. So as you guys can imagine, things are just a little iffy when it comes to me trying to do content and stuff. I can do it when I can, and even the streams aren't really certain anymore. So for the time being, just kind of bear with me as I try to get as much stuff out as I can. But yeah, I got some stuff in the works. Like I said, I managed to record a cooking video today, and that'll be going up tomorrow. But just expect these things for like the next maybe 2 to 3 months at least. While we try to get Squeetus to learn how to be a functional human being.
Well, that's going to take a few years, so.
Well, I mean, at the very least, right now, like learning how to freaking use her body, because that's her biggest issue right now is like holding her head up and flailing like crazy, and she can't hold her bottle, obviously, that type of stuff. Like once we get her to the point to where she can, like, use her body and her facial expressions to like let us know what the hell is going on, then we just gotta kind of give her that extra added attention that she needs. So
well, that picture you sent out last night of her like tossing a haymaker was just so adorable.
It is a super cute picture, and I'm glad you made that a meme, because me and Monkey, after you left, was like, should we do that? Should we just make like Squishy memes? Because Squeetus memes, because there was a picture that Squishy took yesterday. She put a hat on her and put her in this little chair thing that we got for her, and she was slumped over, and she looked like Grumpy Cat. And I'm just like, Grumpy Cat didn't die; he was reincarnated.
Thank you, Princess Unicorn Nipples. Long time no see. Hi, says Princess Unicorn Nipples. Hello.
What up, Nips?
Where have I just not noticed the princess around, or has Princess been absent for a while? Because I feel like I haven't seen that name in quite a while. Question to the chat or otherwise.
I mean, I'm with you. It feels like it's been a little while, but also with us, I mean, we see so many people so often.
That's
it could have
true.
just been a week.
That's true too. All right. Well, either way, hello, Princess Unicorn Nipples, and
It's
thank
nice
you
to
so
see
much.
it either way.
Thank you so much. Was that it, Satsu? Sorry.
Yeah, for YouTube stuff, that's it.
All right. Tartana says, Scribe Light, Burma shave. I love it. Yeah, and I'll talk about an old, obscure reference. But anyway. Monkey, what do you got going on?
First of all, Satsu, you don't have to apologize. You got a baby. We know it. And if anybody's an ass about that, they can come hang out with me, and I'll tell them what a shitbag they are. But it is cool of you to apologize. But I understand. People, he has a baby. Leave him alone. Anyway, no, I did a monkey in the morning this morning, and I had a lot of fun on that one. It was almost like a real morning show because we talked, random politics, that kind of stuff. And I did some weather because it was raining like fuck here. Then we did some sports, and then we did some like lifestyle stuff. It was like, oh my God, did we accidentally become an actual show? So I gotta fix that shit.
I was about to say,
Okay.
did you fall into a format?
Fuck no format over there. Like,
okay.
If that shit happens, I'm just pulling up random porn and talking about it till it passes. No, but I did notice I started challenging all of my videos because every goddamn one of them turns yellow immediately. Every fucking one.
Oh, you mean demonetized?
Yep.
I was like, all your videos turn yellow, and I'm like, you have some color correction
sorry,
problem or something? Okay.
Yes, all of them get jaundiced. The only thing I do like about the new beta, the studio beta, which by the way, great name for YouTube, because dear Christ, what kind of man woman came up with that shit? But they did make it a lot easier to challenge videos when they've been demonetized, because you used to have to jump through like 2 different screens to get to where, okay, yeah, I want to challenge this. And now you do it right from the list. Like, cool beans. And I've actually started to get some monetized. And I got in my brain like, wait a minute. This might actually help me in the long run. Me being a dickhead, guys, actually might help me in the long run. Because it with all of them being demonetized, the bot's just gonna look at anything I do and go, yeah, fuck this guy. But yeah, last I saw, 2 out of my last 4 had been approved for monetization. Now that's not gonna help me with money, guys. By the time they approve it, nobody's watching them anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. So maybe it'll help the channel, and I won't just get hit automatically anymore. We'll see what happens with that. But that was kind of cool to notice. I don't know if I'm going to game stream tonight. Me and Satsu don't have one scheduled. And I've been doing streams on those off nights, and I'm not sure, guys. I haven't gotten much good sleep lately, so we'll see. I'm sorry. I just don't know at this point. But that's all, Scribbles.
Okay, well, I'd like to talk about mob movies. No, I'm kidding. It's
format.
It's fucketry time. Let's see. SDA. I tweeted out the a little mini photo of the stream theme image, and SDA has liked it and retweeted it. So I assume she's not too put out by the image I chose. All things. Okay, let's see. As far as fucketry, what did I have? I know I had a couple of things. Well, first off, if you haven't seen it, Count Dankula tweeted out a little video of Count Dankula has been going around of him critiquing the documentary about his case, wherein someone on the documentary holds up his pet cat and says the exact same thing that Count Dankula said that got him criminally charged and everything. And this is on the BBC's own documentary.
Nice.
I can't do the situation justice. I retweeted out the video clip that the Britisher commented on. So if you haven't seen it, go take a look. It's hilarious. What else did I go? We talked about the Monopoly game. So a few CNN things today. This tweet from CNN: a same-sex penguin couple will raise an adopted, quote-unquote, genderless chick for the first time, a London aquarium has announced. The 4-month-old Gen 2 penguin chick will not be named or characterized as male or female, Sea Life London said. And I said, it has a gender. And whatever humans do or do not name it does not then become an incantation to somehow alter the reality of biology. TLDR, what the fuck did I just read? I don't even know how to count how many things are wrong with that little summary of things. It's like, so the staff of the zoo are doing everything they can to make sure that little penguin doesn't feel that a gender is forced upon it. And somebody asked me this. This is the funniest thing I think I said today, and I am tooting my own horn, so to speak. But the spectacular wanderer said, "So if it turns out to be female, and one of the males fertilizes her eggs, what are they going to write about this little experiment?" And I said, hashtag penguincest. There you go. What else do I know? Cheap shot. There was some bizarre tweet.
Well,
okay.
But before you move on from that, this came from the aquarium itself?
Apparently so, yes.
So aren't these people there to like help educate people?
Yep.
No. Educate them about what the right way to think, but no, not about animals.
All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, because that just hit me. Like they're supposed to be educating people. And look, okay, they got their little gay penguins, which they've talked way too much about. But that baby's going to come out either a male or a female. The penguins don't have genders. They're
I like I
it's
say,
not like not like the female is going to dress in pink.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my world, gender and sex are still effectively synonyms, so that's why I said gender.
Well, they are, but okay. Yeah, I know. But.
Okay. Let's see. Also, this tweet from MCU Direct. I don't know if it's an official source, but this says actress Kristen Stewart, quote, should be the gay female Falcon Captain America in the MCU, says Falcon actor Anthony Mackie. The female Falcon Captain America. The gay female Falcon Captain America. I don't even know. I've never even heard of the character Falcon Captain America. The only Falcon Captain America I've heard of is the Falcon who eventually took on the mantle of Captain America. But now he's saying that Kristen Stewart should be the gay female Falcon. Is she going to have to be the Falcon first and then evolve into her final form as Captain America? Or I don't know. This whole Kirsten.
Well, you know what this is about, right?
Well, yeah, she told a story supposedly saying that someone told her she couldn't. She was too gay to be in the MCU or something.
Yeah, she had to stop holding hands in public with her girlfriend.
Right, because that would risk her chances of being in an MCU movie. And now I guess that has centered the targets on her to be in an MCU movie. Which, I mean, if that was done intentionally, it's a brilliant PR move on her part to get a job. I'm not going to deny it, but it's still.
Oh, it was absolutely done intentionally.
Yeah, it's a bit cynical, but let's see. Not so much fucketry, but somebody tweeted out. They said Indiana Jones exists because Spielberg wasn't allowed to direct a James Bond movie. Star Wars exists because Lucas couldn't do Flash Gordon. They had to dig deep, create something new. In an age when everything is a remake, sequel, adaptation, filmmakers must fight for original ideas too. And I said, because the first thing that came to my mind was, Darkman exists because Sam Raimi couldn't get the rights to The Shadow or to Batman. Thank you, Cryptic. She should be Captain Gailcon. Gailcon? Gay Icon?
Gay icon.
Gay Icon. I couldn't tell if that was a lowercase L or not. Oh, you want you. And aside from that, yeah, the Squeedus meme. Let me give you a preview of what you've got coming if you mess with the Squeedus. Little fist coming at the camera. Yeah. And that look on her face, that's like a fuck you look. I like it. Anyway, that's the long litany of my fucketry. Satsu, what do you got?
Well, the first thing I've seen is Terrence K. Williams shared a video of these two kids, little toddlers, one black and one white. Apparently, they didn't expect to see each other outside. Like maybe they go to the same school or whatever, but they just broke in a sprint towards each other and gave each other a hug because they were so happy to see each other. And the headline is, "This is America. I'm tired of people trying to divide us." It's a cute little video. But then somebody up underneath, because the video continues after they hug, the little black toddler runs ahead of the white one, and he's running faster than him. Say what you will about that, but
We know.
But somebody took that portion of it, clipped it, and then put a CNN headline on it. And it says, "Terrified toddler runs from racist baby."
Oh, jeez. I'm looking at it right now. That's fucking.
Yeah, it says "racist baby," probably a Trump voter. Holy shit, that was funny. Also, earlier I saw a post from some stupid fucker who saw some art of, I'm assuming, I'm not sure who this is. I don't know what comic book character this is. I think it says #Medusa. But she's all sexy and shit in this.
She's one of the Inhumans. She's a Marvel character. Yeah.
Yeah, and it says, "Again, men are trash and shouldn't be allowed to draw women because she's all sexy and shit."
Right.
So this entire feed is just a whole bunch of women, female artists, either coming in and telling her to shut the fuck up or sharing their lewd female art. Like, fuck you, bitch. Like, men aren't the only people who think women are sexy. Bayonetta got brought up quite a bit because there was a big ass news story about Bayonetta. They were writing on these articles like, "Look how sexually drawn this is. This game is designed to befit the male gaze, and look at the way she moves and everything." And the chick who drew it is just like, "Last time I checked, I don't have a penis."
Right.
Like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about, but it's so weird hearing all this shit being said about me. Or I'm being talked about as if I am a male. I don't know if I'm okay with this. But yeah, it's just if you check the feed, there's a whole bunch of people sharing art drawn by women. But somebody drew up the process of tweets like this, which was really nice. The Angry Lady Child's Guide to the Men in my mentions technique, or some shit like that. Menchie's technique or something. And it says, "Step 1, tweet something stupid about the menfolk. Step 2, get mocked by women and men alike. Step 3, pretend that everyone mocking you is just male. Step 4, pretend that they're mocking you is actually anger and fragility about how strong of an independent woman you are. Step 5, type, 'Oh my God, these fragile men in my mentions.' And step 6, insist that everyone who disagrees with you must be guilty or fitting of the dumb thing you wrote." And I'm just like, yeah, that is literally the way every single post like this goes. Every single one. You'll see the feed. You'll see them saying, "Oh, the fragile insert group here," and not the other group of people that I'm clearly ignoring in here. And then they'll be like, "I'm muting this because blah, blah, blah." It's like, holy shit, they got this shit down to a science. It is the same almost every fucking time. Also, somebody used their meme against them, the "Have you met a woman lately" meme.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's from that video where they were talking about the wage gap, and they were claiming that it was like, there's a myth going around that women aren't making as much as men because women pick lesser career choices. And the chick popped in the screen and they zoomed in on her face and she was like, "Have you met any women lately?" That was like her comeback for that. That was her response to the fact
Nice burn.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, you got us. That definitely proved that this statement is absolutely false. You got us with that one. Oh no, how do we come back from this? So yeah, somebody actually used that meme against them in this one in regards to females drawing art, because most of the time, the most lewd art and shit that I see are from female artists. A lot of times, y'all see all them sexily drawn anime chicks or whatever. Most of the time, those are chicks drawing that shit. But, men are trash. They don't need to draw female characters because, they
Great fact.
They do all that shit.
That's a hate fact, Satsu.
I know. Hate facts. They're everywhere, man. It's like a plague. Let's see here. What else we got? I know I saw something else today. Oh, I was actually playing this new beat 'em up that came out called what is it? Something Valley Girls or some shit like that. It's kind of got a really heavy what was that game? What's the game? God damn it. You can't get it anymore. It was the beat 'em up fuck. Scott Pilgrim. I don't know why I couldn't think of that for whatever reason. But it seems to be heavily influenced off of that. It's like a co-op 2-player beat 'em up game or whatever. And I was playing it, and there was one character that I bumped into. I was listening to the voice or whatever, and I'm like, I swear to God, that sounds like Jacksepticeye. And it is. I was like, holy shit. I looked it up, and he was like, yeah, so glad to be a part of this game. And I'm like, well, all right. I guess he's doing voice acting now, so cool. Cool for him. That's not really fucketry, but that is something that happened today. Also, there is a and this is legit, and it is made by them. There's a Colonel Sanders love sim game.
What?
Yeah. It is made by KFC. It's called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger licking good dating simulator.
That's not even right.
And it's legit as fuck too. And I'm just like, wow, this exists. Why is this real? Oh, somebody said you can still get it on iOS. Oh, fuck that shit. Oh, ISO. Oh, okay. I thought you said iOS. My bad. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim was fun. That was one of my favorite like 2D beat 'em ups. That shit was really awesome because the combat was like super fluid and nice. And there was like one other game that I can think of that had really good combat that was slightly different. I can't remember what it's called. It was on PlayStation, I think, exclusively. But this game really reminds me of Scott Pilgrim, but it's not as fleshed out. It is fun though. So if you have a Switch or Steam or whatever, check it out. Because I've been playing it on the Switch, and it's actually entertaining. Outside of that, I don't think there was anything else I got into. I did make fun of the Monopoly thing a little bit, because that was hilarious. But yeah, that's it.
All right, Monkey, what you got?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I did much. I did have my conversation with the how have I been saying this? The toll-free flower folk, and this guy was a lot nicer than the last guy. A lot easier to talk to.
Real quick, Monkey.
Sure.
Sorry. Thank you, Sanguine. They missed out. It should be KFL, Kentucky Fried Love. Thank you, Sanguine.
He was a little easier to talk to because he wasn't a moron. But he's like, so were you able to get the flowers you needed? That was for today, right? I'm like, yeah, I got them. I'm good. So you don't need to order anything? I'm like, oh my God. Do they beat y'all if you don't get orders? Seriously. Because calm down. Just calm down. But I do have a $20 gift certificate for my next purchase from them. I'm like, yeah, hold your breath on that, homie. What else did I have? I think the other one I have is hang on, let me make sure. I can't remember if this came after our show or not yesterday. Did we do the one that Trump's base is committed to white supremacy?
Yes, that sounds familiar.
Okay. I think we all commented on it. I couldn't remember if we did it on the show or not. The final one though is from Women's Agenda. Women's Agenda is upset because Forbes put out a list of the top innovators in business, the top innovative leaders. And of the 100 of them, only one of them was a female. Now, they're mad because either Forbes should have changed the parameters for the list, or they should have spent a lot of time explaining why it's bad that there was only one woman on the list. Don't celebrate those 99 guys and the one woman who did make it. No. Either change the list, some more women, lower that standard, or just spend a whole bunch of time bitching about how more women didn't make it. It's absolutely asinine, as you might expect. The one thing they didn't say? The one thing they didn't say in here is that more women should have made the list based on the parameters that were set. They didn't suggest that women should have made that list. Like, then shut the fuck up. The list is what it is. You might not like it. Make your own goddamn list. But Forbes did come out and say, look, hey, it's not our fault. There were some women who would have qualified, but one had retired and a couple others. You have to be in the job for a certain number of years before you can qualify for it. They're not there yet. So we went with the people who were there that actually fucking qualify. So it's just another one of those times, we got to change the rules so women can make it. Shut the fuck up. That's all I got.
All right. We have enough time for a Mad Lib. I was gonna ask a very, very brief, deep topic. I don't know what I was gonna say. It has slipped my mind. Let's take a couple minutes. What kind of theme should I shoot for next show that I host? What do you think? It doesn't have to be, off of the Monkey Dick video games thing, but
Tu Wong Fu.
Tu Wong Fu?
Yeah.
Is that even yeah, true, that's three guys on a thing. Is there a I guess I could. Oh, that's
I want to be John Leguizamo.
You want to be John Leguizamo?
Yeah.
Whoo boy. I'm gonna have to see if I can find that font. All I would change is, I'd have to get the names right. Gosh, I don't know. I'll have to see if I can manage that. That is a tall order for me to make it Photoshop funny. I'll see what I can do. Any other ideas aside from that one? Because that, like I said, might be a bit of a trick. No pun intended.
No idea.
No idea.
My idea is no idea.
You're so helpful.
Thanks.
Well, and I'll put it to the chat as well when you have an opportunity here in a minute with chat time. If you have ideas, abstract or otherwise, for show themes, I am open to suggestions. Find my words today. But Three Amigos. I've tried finding a picture of the Three Amigos that I can cleanly and effectively Photoshop, but they just, with those big sombrero hats on and everything, it is really difficult to make it work. I'm not that talented, so it would be an easy fit if it wasn't for trying to make all that not look completely ridiculous. And I understand I'm not exactly doing high art here, but I have standards, even for myself. Anyway, we'll jump right into chat time. Guys, if you have questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, complaints, theme ideas, please put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you'd like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. First question I see is, Frosted Glass, in the Dankula documentary, did you notice the cat belonging to that guy was named, not joking, Trotsky? Yes. The communist guy in the documentary named his cat Trotsky, which is hilarious. RJ Bandsma, Scribe, try the Three Stooges. I've looked at a few photos of the Three Stooges, trying to see how I can make that work. Maybe, but the thing is that once you cover up their faces, it's almost impossible to tell who I'm parodying at that point. So it's got to be something where I can put our avatars over something in some fashion where everything else is otherwise immediately recognizable without too much heavy lifting. At least that's my sort of mental standard for it. Thank you, Corey Suzuki. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I looked that one up too, trying to find a photo that makes sense, that I could put people in there is tough. There's not many that have all three of them in a reasonable order. Thank you, Duck Dog. Big mistake. Mini make. Lay on the horn instead of break. Burma shave. There you go. Burma shave signs. If you guys don't know what those were, I don't either. I just remember my dad talking about them, and I remember seeing them one time in an episode of MASH. So there you go. Attack Alpaca. Favorite Mario game ever? Honestly, I have fonder memories of Super Mario Brothers 2 than many others because I didn't play that many Mario games, but I played Mario 2 a lot. So what do you guys? Do you have a favorite?
Either 2 or 3. I played 2 more, but me and Lady Monkey used to play 3 a lot when we were in high school. That was a lot of fun, and that was where he could finally fly. It was cool. Got his little tail.
The one I played the most and actually beat was Super Mario Sunshine. I like have to pick that one because it was the one I played it all the way through and did pretty much everything you can do in that game, and I remember it being very fun. So.
Grizilla says, shouldn't the arrow be over Scribe since it's his night? Well, this is how the selection screen starts in the original game by default. It's already over Mario, and that's just how I put it together. I wasn't thinking that far ahead, I suppose. Probably should have. Mr. Moo, why is Satsu the small, annoying mushroom? You have to ask? Well, yeah. Let's see. Dirty Nerd Scribe theme idea, your own version of Monopoly. Oh. Scribopoly. Dark Goliath, Scribe Light, 2 ideas. A CNN panel or the 3 caballeros. Yeah, now that might work because you could tell you're looking at the caballeros with the surrounding stuff. Scribe Light Charlie's Angels. Yeah, no. Especially they got a new movie of that coming out that looks like absolute garbage. Why they do? Pete says 3 men and a baby. Well, I was thinking about that one, but I see now I'd want to get a picture of Squeetus in there. I might be able to do that now because I was thinking about that before Squeetus arrived. But now that Squeetus is out there and I've got some photos to choose from, if I can find one that works for that poster, I'll see if I can make it work. Jack Gunsky, Scribelight, where can I find Cynical Lindsay, Skeptalk, and others for a game stream after this show? I don't have any clue. I don't know. Why don't you start your own show or something and have them on to play games or something? Take the initiative, Jack. Out loud. Mata Winter, oh lords, why is that squirrel on fire? What?
There's a squirrel on fire?
I don't know. Please don't tell me that somebody set a squirrel on fire. That would... Cynical Lindsay says Sesame Street. Oh, Sesame Street. Or maybe if I can find a picture of Mr. Rogers with at least 3 of his puppets. Yeah, there's an idea. I'll see what I can do. Check your logic. I know Monkey probably won't like it, but would you think it's a good idea to do a Wizard of Oz theme next time SDA shows up? Yeah, you got SDA, you got the Tin Woodsman, you got Scarecrow, and you got the Lion. Not a bad idea. I'll think about that. I'll make Monkey the Scarecrow.
Yeah, you have to make Satsu the lion because he ain't got no heart. No, the Tin Man. Sorry.
No, yeah, good job. Yeah. And so I don't have any courage. Is that what it is?
No, it's just that he don't have no feelings. He's made that quite clear.
Satsu, would you rather be the Tin Man or the lion?
The Tin Man.
All right, I'll have to find a way to silverize your face. Photoshop to make it. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Chat is jumping all over the place, so if I missed your question, just repost it. Tom O'Leary, Lords of the Night, what's the most embarrassing injury you've ever had? Injury?
When I hit myself in the nuts with a golf club.
Embarrassing injury.
I think I told you guys about mine. Although it would have been one of the coolest things I ever done if it didn't end up being an injury.
Oh, the one where you jumped or were doing the wall flip?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I hadn't done it before, but I had never taken 3 steps up the wall. So for context, for anybody who's wondering, I used to do we used to do backflips and stuff all the time as kids and all that shit. And we used to do the run up the wall and do a backflip off the wall thing, but it was a 2-step rule because 3 was just like too much. It just wasn't really plausible to do that. But I tried it one day on a damp morning and didn't go well. I hit the ground in a very weird way and knocked myself out, and it was bad.
Let's see. Pyrus Creed. Going to start playing Grim Dawn. Any advice/tips?
Take the week off.
Yeah, there's that too. I don't. Let's see. Well, first off, be sure to explore everywhere and find all the containers you can, because there's plenty, especially in the early game, there's plenty of documents and things that'll give you quick little XP boosts. And you never know when you're going to find an item. What else? Gosh, I don't know. There's just so much you have to learn just by playing and experiencing it. Well, here's one tip. Don't think that a class you select for your character is something where you have to fill out all the trees. Okay, you have to look at each power tree for each class as its own little thing, and how does it add to, or is it synergistic with powers or abilities with your other class. If you decide to do a dual class thing, you can pick 2 classes and only focus on one, but you want to specialize in specific things. If you spread yourself too thin, you'll have a whole bunch of powers that are all weak. So you have to really look at what the powers do, how they progress, and then really focus on those. Because you can make so many variants. You could pick the same 2 classes for 3 different characters and build 3 entirely different characters with different power sets if you look at things first and decide how you want to play it out. A lot of that comes through trial and error and experimentation. There are a lot of sites out there that have lists of like already tested builds if you want to look up that. But really look at a theme like, I want to have a character that does fire damage. Okay, if you really focus on 1 or 2 types of damage, and you look at which classes focus on those types of damage, and then you sort of combine those together, you usually have a really powerful character. You don't necessarily want to just focus on one thing, though, because you always want to have a really good offense, but you also want to think about what's your defensive posture. And again, a lot of that comes through trial and error. It's a really fun game. It's really deep for building characters and looting and all that stuff, so have fun with it. That's the best advice I've got in a relatively short, rambly nutshell. Data Wasteland. Scribe, did you get the email I sent you today? I did. Link to a movie called Destination Planet Negro. It is a period black and white film made about, set in like the 50s or something, or the 40s, like it was made in the 50s or 40s, and it's about black people that decide to travel to Mars to start their own planet.
Okay.
I didn't get past the first couple minutes because I had work to do at work, but it looked interesting. It's by a company that does lots of movies like this, little independent kind of tongue-in-cheek movies. So if I get a chance, I will watch it all the way through, but it's like an hour or 40 minutes. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light, how about the 3 ninjas? I thought about that one too, but the box art for the one that I wanted to do is so neon and weird. I wasn't able. I want to try to get, like, you know, the colors of the avatars and everything to sort of match whatever I'm putting it onto, and I couldn't quite figure out how to do that with my Photoshop. I'm sure there's a way. Grisella, with Halloween coming up, maybe put your heads on the 3 monster cereals. Oh, there's an idea. Somebody said earlier the A team, and I thought, well, there's 4 guys on the A team, or 5 actually. So I'd have to figure out who would go on the other ones. If I had I Think I'm Real on here, maybe I could put his face on Face Man, because he's the prettiest YouTuber around.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Okay. Tartanist, Scribe, what about Biker Mice from Mars? I never watched that show. I could do it. Never watched it. Mono Winter, Lords of the Night, have you seen that someone went all autismal on Zoe Quinn's accusation and found out that she was tweeting about things that contradict her new statement in the past? Oh, I am so shocked that Zoe Quinn might have misstated, made something up, or contradicted herself.
Zoe Quinn's a liar? What?
This is my surprised face. You're seeing it right there on the screen right now. What's in the back? Gyukato, but Scribelight, we know the Russians colonized Mars. Iron Sky 2 taught us that. Well, this happened before Iron Sky. This is events that took place. This is a prequel. A prequel to Iron Sky, that's what I'm saying. Dylan Fruit Zero, Scribelight, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Ooh, there's an idea. Again, I have to see how to find the right font to replace the thing. Usually you can just put, it's amazing. You so go into Google and you say, I want, Goodfellas font, or you take a screenshot of the font and then you put it to this little machine thing and it pops out. Here's similar fonts. I don't know if they have like cereal box font. I'll see what I can do. Duck Dog says Surf Ninjas. Maybe not. But if you ever want to watch the funniest episode of the Nostalgia Critic, look up Nostalgia Critic Surf Ninjas. Whatever else he did before that and whatever else he did after will never ever match the hilarity of his Surf Ninjas review. To this day, it is still makes me laugh my ass off.
I don't know, man. After Earth and the Avatar Last Airbender were two really funny.
If you haven't seen Surf Ninjas, I'm not even kidding. Look it up. It's like 10 minutes or something. Look up Surf Ninjas, Nostalgia Critic. So funny. Dill Fruit Zero, Scribelight, the Animaniacs. Yeah, except I don't know who I'd make. I'd have to have like SDA or somebody on to make Dot, and then Yakko and Wacko only leaves 2 of us. So, yeah. I know how much shit I'd get if I put Monkey's face on Dot's body. So.
I was just gonna say I'm comfortable enough in my masculinity. You can make me Dot.
No, okay, I'll think about it. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribelight, are you going to do any more Familiar with the Matter? I was thinking about that recently and thinking about someone I would ask about that, but without wanting to make any promises or anything. I will let you know. Pyrus Creed, Scribelight, how about the Yalta conference for the next theme? Oh, that's uplifting. Sure. Oh boy. Talix says, Scribelight, I have a box of Rice Krispies I can provide a shot from for you. I'm pretty sure I can find the box art for Rice Krispies on the intertubes. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribelight, the Marx Brothers. That's a possibility. Maybe. Think about that one. The Cody Fry, Scribelight, make Satsu 2 cents Dot. I don't know. I think if Monkey's already good with it, I'll probably make Satsu like Wacko.
Well, I was the younger brother. Back when we were kids, my mom that's what she referred to us as, her little Animaniacs, because there was 3 of us, and every house we were the perfect height for that. She'd have us in the little masks and stuff. I used to play that game a lot back in the day, back around that time too. The one, was it on Sega? The Animaniacs game?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Unsky, Scribelight idea, the 3-titted woman from Total Recall where you 3 are the nipples. That's funny.
Speaking of 3-titted woman, did you see Rachel Maddow's being sued?
Oh, by who? For what?
OAN, the American, whatever that news network is.
OAN?
Yeah. What is it? One American Network.
Never heard
I
of
think
it.
is what it's called.
Okay.
They're a conservative news network, and she went on the air and accused them of being literal paid Russian propaganda
Oh, shit, son.
because yeah, one of their reporters does freelance work for Sputnik News. And she called the entire network paid Russian propaganda. I'm like,
slander.
oops, you fucked
Oopsies.
up.
That'll be
So yeah,
interesting.
her and MSNBC and like 2 other entities are being sued for $10 million. Good job, dumbass.
Sanguine, Scribe, Asterix and Obelix, where monkey is dogmatics. That would be. I'm not sure how many people actually would recognize that, but that's who would I make Obelix? He's awfully fat. No fat people among us that I know of. Think about it. Let's see. Pete says, "How about the Rat Pack? You should make Sinatra Says Sinatra." I kind of did that, not like literally the Rat Pack, but a black and white photo of all of us in suits, standing with Richard Nixon. That was a few shows back. And guys, all the Lords of the Night shows that I've posted, there's a playlist on my channel. Once I have a show going up, I set the previous one into an unlisted state and put it into that playlist. So if you ever want to see any previous shows for whatever reason, you can check out the playlist on my channel. And Monkey does that too. Or do you still do that?
I still do that, yeah.
Still do that, okay. But you keep all your Monkey in the Mornings up live, don't you?
No.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
All of my streams and these streams go into one called All the Streams, and the Monkey in the Morning go into one called Monkey in the Morning.
Oh, okay. OK Asian or Aslan. Sorry, OK Aslan. Sorry for that. Ed, and Eddie. I never watched that show. I know of it. I think that was after my cartooning days.
I watched a lot of that show.
Sanguine says Obelix loves to eat and can cook. So Satsu. Oh, Satsu can be the big fat guy.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Satsu can be a big fat Viking. Cynical Lindsay, I haven't seen the movie, but what about a Cloak and Dagger theme? You mean the Dabney Coleman version? Well, there's only 2 people there. That makes it a little rough. If you're talking about the superhero team, there's only 2 of them too. And one's a glowing girl. And I still haven't watched the 2nd season of the TV show of Cloak and Dagger because the 1st season did not make me at all interested in watching the 2nd season. I don't know if I can force myself to watch whatever, like 10 or 13 episodes of that stuff. Angela Arriaga says, Scribe The Goonies. I was thinking about that one too, but there's a lot of faces there and a lot of people. I might have to put in a whole bunch of... I'll think about it. Delford Zero, Mystery Science Theater 3000. That is a possibility. I could be the Joel or Mike character and put Monkey or Satsu on Pro and Tom Servo. Mata Winter, have you watched the Karl Marx anime? No. Easy. Frosted Glass, you got a problem with the Marx Brothers, Scribe? I didn't say I did. I said I was thinking about it. Why? You know that Groucho Marx's death was overshadowed by Elvis's death? Like Elvis, like everybody ignored Groucho dying because Elvis died around the same.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I learned about that in The Devil's Rejects, the Rob Zombie movie. It was a very brief plot point. Anyway. Yeah. Yes?
I said very informative.
Well, I try. I try to be educational here, unlike the zoo in London. But, you know. RJ Bansmus, Scribe, could we have a Comedy Central-based roast with y'all? Oh, a roast. I don't know. Maybe for my YouTube anniversary on October 11th. Whatever day that is. Hopefully it's not a Sunday. But we'll see. Data Wasteland. Scribe Light, how about Garfield Scribe is the human Satsu as Garfield and Monk as the dog? You want Monkey as Odie, I'm Garfield, and Satsu is John. That'd be interesting. Circus Zero says Scribe Light MASH would give a lot of photos to work with. Oh yeah, MASH. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light. Oh brother, where art thou? Maybe. Joe W, Harry Potter, Ron, Harry, and Hermione. I'm not a fan enough of Harry Potter that I would do a theme for Harry Potter. I don't care. Sorry, what?
I said do the Black Cauldron just for kicks.
Ooh, the Black Cauldron. Yeah, there you go. God, nobody remembers. That's like the forgotten redheaded stepchild Disney movie. They don't mention or talk about that one. It's just, I think it's only second only to Song of the South as the Disney movie that they never mention or talk about because it was such a box office failure.
The tripped out part is I've seen that movie so many times as a kid. Like when I used to bring it up to people and they didn't know what I was talking about, I used to get annoyed. Like, how do you not know about this movie?
Well, the interesting thing is that movie was in production around the same time that the ownership of Disney changed over to Katzenberg and Michael Eisner. And as part of the introductory process, Katzenberg, I think it was, I believe it was Katzenberg, he went to an early screening of some early cut of the film before they'd finished all the coloration and everything. And he started critiquing the film, telling them they needed to make these edits and this, that, and the other thing, as though it were an actually filmed movie. You could go back and do like reshoots and everything. And they had to explain to him, it's like, sir, that's not how hand-drawn animation and this stuff works. And so apparently a lot of the things wrong with the Black Cauldron as far as pacing and story and everything else is because Jeffrey Katzenberg stumbled into the production like a bull in a china shop and fucked it up. And then, of course, it bombed. So that's one story. I try to be educational.
The more you know.
Cynical Lindsay, Raising Arizona. You've got Nick Cage, John Goodman, and William Forsythe. That's 3. It's true. There's a picture of all 3 of them. Devil Fruit Zero. Everything's coming in 3s now. He's like, I know of something with 3 people in it. Yeah. Devil Fruit Zero. Scribe Light. Ever watch Supernatural? That has a group of 3. I've seen the first episode of Supernatural, and I didn't care. I know a lot of people are ridiculous fans of that show, and it's been on the air for 20 frickin' years or whatever. I never really got into it. I suppose if I sat down and really concentrated for a while, maybe I could, but Gulf City Cult of Krail, The Big Lebowski. Oh yeah, I can make Monkey the dude. Auto Winter says Scribe Light, October 11th is a Friday. Okay, I might have to switch with. Wait, no, that's my day. That's right. Yay! For a second, I thought my brain said that was a Satsu day, and I was like, wait a second, no, that's my day.
And my 3 years just came and went, and I forgot all about it. It was Sunday.
We should have done. We should have done something for that.
I'm not really about, promoting myself.
Right. Well then,
anybody want to buy a bridge?
Actually, I feel kind of bad now because the last 2 years I've arranged something for you for that.
You have, but hey, we were off that day.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I should.
Ah, shit! Like I said, it's not a big deal.
That is 3 years.
Yeah, even I fucking got, man.
Diesel Dave says Lethal Weapon 2 was Joe Pesci in 2.
Pesci, yep.
Did he show up in 2?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where he started from.
What do you mean? Joe Pesci was an actor before Lethal Weapon 2?
In the series.
Oh, okay. I was like, you ever see Raging Bull? Nothing for you here. Scribe Light, The Lost Boys. Oh. Well, Halloween is coming up. And Devil Fruit Zero says, I think I'm spent on groups of 3. Yeah. I think you guys have run through every possible high-profile trio or even foursome. That might make sense. Yes, American Celt, I know. The Three Stooges, I know. Otto Winter says, Lords of the Night, what the fuck is an Elvis? I don't know what to tell you. Duck Dog says the Lethal Weapon 3 cover would be funnier. Probably. Yeah, if I remember it correctly. Wait, doesn't have Rene Russo on that?
I think it has Rene Russo.
Yeah, Rene Russo's on. Quartet says Ulke Aslan. That's right. Clerks or Mallrats, says Sean DW.
Movies I watch.
Sorry, what?
So they don't call it a quartet on the movies I watch.
Cynical Lindsay, speaking of Joe Pesci, you could do Home Alone for the Christmas theme. Sorry. I got thief in my head because it's Home Alone. Kevin, Marv, and Harry. That is also true. Who should I make the small child? Should I make that monkey?
Probably.
No, I should probably be the small child because you two are tormenting me.
But
Circus Zero, Scribe Light.
Sorry,
What?
Satsu's a bad one now.
Okay, is monkey roboting or is that me, Satsu?
He was roboting a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, monkey.
I just heard my name. I don't know what he said.
Yeah. What'd you say, monkey?
Whatever you said, you better have put some respect on it.
I said now Satsu's the bad one. How you like that?
Oh.
That's okay.
Circus Zero, Scribe Light. I'm not out. Old school video game Golden Axe.
Oh, Golden Axe.
Yeah, I played that once or twice in my whole.
Golden Axe was okay.
Greg Rogers says the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh boy, that's another Halloween maybe. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light. Are you saying Satsu is a wet bandit? Yes. I guess. Mule 1066. Flash Gordon. Oh yeah. Got Flash, and you got the Flying Viking guy or whatever. Of course, Ming the Merciless. Ooh, maybe I can make Monkey Ming the Merciless and give him that Fu Manchu mustache and beard. Okay, Aslan. Totally Spies.
Oh god.
Totally Spies? I don't even know what Totally Spies is.
It's that fucking tween fucking spy show they had out. Fucking.
Maybe Spies Like Us, but there's only two guys there. Why is SDA's head so big? Well, because she's full of herself. That's why. Well, partially because I had to try to cover up the original princess head there, but also I wanted to maintain enough detail that you could see the look on her face. So that's why. Uh-oh, I hear a baby.
Squeetus.
Squeetus.
She is awake.
Squeetus. Oh, Squeetus. Roger Reynolds says, Scribe Light, the three wise monkeys. Oh, yeah, for Christmas I could do a manger kind of thing. Yeah, Squeetus agrees. Joe W says, the squad, monkey as AOC. Oh, God.
But there's 4 people in the squad.
Yeah, that's the thing, there's 4. I mean, like I say, I can always add somebody on to be a guest, or just, somebody else who's a friend of the show. But
Yeah, if you do that, whoever's the 4th person has to be Presley because nobody actually cares about her.
Okay. So I was trying to think of somebody that I could safely mock amongst our friends. Oh, Sinatra? Oh, Sinatra becomes Presley?
He's got a good sense of humor about him.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking Bear, maybe.
You can do that.
Let's see. Duck Dog says, Flash, savior of the universe. Do. Let's see. Now you guys aren't gaming tonight, are you, or are you?
Nah. Well, Monkey maybe. I don't know.
Monkey, are you gaming tonight?
I think I'm going to sleep. I'm tired, y'all.
Okay. So Monkey's going to sleep. Satsu's going to sleep.
Flower people woke me up.
Oh.
Satsu wishes he was going to sleep.
Well, yeah. Satsu's going to take care of baby.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Wolf says, #BadgerMan. I haven't had Badger on in a while. You had him on Monkey in the Morning. I don't know what I think the hours in Germany are a little off for having him on Lords of the Night anymore.
Yeah, he's an hour past Bear, so he's
Yeah.
6 hours plus.
That's it. And Sinatra says Bear would cry if I made Bear Presley or Ayanna Presley on the squad. He might cry. Maybe I'll do that. But anyway, guys, by the time I finish this, we'll be at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. I want to thank you all for showing up tonight, as you always do. I really do appreciate your guys' loyalty and attention. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the views. You guys really are, we say this all the time, you guys are half the show with your contributions, questions, and stories and things. You are the virtual fourth Lord of the Night on any given show. Thank you so much for showing
You're
up.
Presley.
Yeah, you're Ayanna Presley. There you go. That came from Monkey. Monkey wants you to know that you are collectively Ayanna Presley. You can blame Monkey for that one. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved audience in the world. And everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I can't tell you how much it is humbling, and I do appreciate it. It'll all go towards horrible things I'll put in my body, probably goldfish and Jack Daniel. Remember, guys, tomorrow night. Sorry?
9.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
No.
Okay. Remember, guys, tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. But aside from all that, Satsu, Monkey, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Monkey, fuck you for interrupting me all the time.
You're welcome.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
And I am pulling out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism, for which I get no sponsorship, by the way, just random page. And today's secret word is relaxed.
Never heard that word before.
Relax, don't do it when you want.